So a module to think about, to solve out real concrete problems, also a very real life problems, using an engineering mindset, an engineering approach. Now it's the turn to dive into the medicine modules, thanks to Alessandro Vitale from Fondazione Umberto Veronesi.
So once again, thanks for being there. As you can see from the previous presentation, each partner has developed his own module following a specific approach, which sometimes, of course, is some hands-on approach. But in this case, of course, for ethical reasons that is easy to understand, it's difficult for us to create something that has some hands-on approach in medicine. So the idea is that to develop some module, in that case 6 modules, talking about some cutting-edge topic in medicine, in biology and in medicine especially, using so-called learning by play approach. So the idea is to develop some practical activity which exploits playing and the game approach in order to be more funny and engaging, and also improving skills and ability for students. And the idea is basically that we use this module in all these modules. So I briefly show you, we have developed a module of big data, which I suppose it's the most cross-disciplinary, because of course it includes mathematics inside that. And also we have developed some gender medicine module, a precision medicine module, a DNA and prevention module, a genome editing module, and of course, it cannot miss it, a bioethic module. I will show them briefly. So the idea is that for each module, we have developed a teacher guide, so a teacher that wants to approach it and know anyone about this topic can have some previous information. But then we have provided some PowerPoint activity, so the module can be done in classroom or in informal context, and then we have provided some game inside this presentation. So in this case, we have provided some quizzes with multiple choice. In the other case, like in big data, we have made a selection of so-called citizen science experiments. So the idea is that research, there are part of research that you can make in a participatory way with scientists. And the idea is that the ICT technology may help you to stay in direct contact with scientists. So using ICT platform, you can provide your help to the research, so you can be part of the research itself. And we made a selection of that, talking about big data. Oh, another one, and that's my favorite one, basically, it's gender medicine module. So that's basically a trivial question. It may sound a trivial issue that male and female are not the same, and are not the same in a health status and in illness. So the idea is that we know even more well that male and female are different at very different levels. So cure and treatment and drugs may and must be different for male and female. But at this time, it's a recent, I would say it's a recent trend. So the idea is that medicine has an activity itself has to improve, and also society has to know more about the difference between male and female. And once again, of course, in our idea, we have no medical improvement, no scientific improvement without ethical debate. So that's why we have decided to elaborate a moral dilemma. It's basically a role game that you can make in classroom. We provide all the information to realize that, which is called Villa Orchidea. So the idea is that we are not the possibility to do this today, but we have made another workshop. So the idea is that you have a house, and you have a fire in that house, and it's a particular house because it hosts several items, such as some researcher, such as the item of the researcher itself, but also a point where you can cure your patients. So the idea is what is important the most. Of course, we have not a precise answer of this. Everyone has an answer for this. But the idea is that you can follow and guide your students in order to have a so-called structural debate. And also, one is maybe can be more familiar to Angela, which is our moderator today, is so-called genome editing module. So the idea is that in medicine starting from the 70s, but also prior of that, we can modify DNA. And now we have a technique which is called CRISPR-Cas9, maybe you have heard about it. You can modify also human DNA, maybe in the next future, not so far, I would say, also embryon's DNA. So the idea is that we have to know that, and we have to know which ethical implication has this item, because it's not a neutral item. Of course, the item is neutral itself, but its potential implications are not. And once again, precision medicine, that will be, just for your information, the tomorrow workshop. So the idea of precision medicine is that you would like to have, ideally, a drug or a treatment that follow and be based on your DNA. And that's a good thing, of course. But maybe you have heard about some cancer treatment, like so-called biological drugs. So they are based on your DNA, on particular DNA mutation, for instance. But at this time, it costs a lot. So once again, there is an ethical question at this topic. Who can afford this cure, this treatment, if it costs too much? It is definitely a good point to be debated. So that's why we try to choose this module, and we try to choose this approach, which is gamification, of course. And we hope to see you at the afternoon workshop, and thank you once again.
Thanks, Alessandro Vitale from Fondazione Umberto Veronesi has presented the medicine modules and 6 subtopics of the medicine modules in order to develop a critical thinking, but also to reflect upon societal and ethical aspects of biomedicine.